This is Dr. Vaishali and I'm reading from the book Structure, Experience with the Mineral Kingdom. Chapter name is Recognition of the Mineral Song, which is extracted from the other song. The central feature of the Mineral Kingdom are its structure and organization. These are the features that help scientists understand this kingdom so well. The structure of the mineral is ordered and predictable in many ways, allowing an exact classification of all elements into the periodic table. It is this structure organization inherent in all the minerals which makes chemistry an exact science. We find these features of the structure and organizations in the person whose other song coincide with the energy of a mineral. The first impression one gets on seeing such a person is that he is very well organized. Even the clothes that he wears are characteristic, symmetrical pattern, stripes, checks, or the plain. His speech is planned, giving a sense of exactness and precision. His hands tend to be either folded across his chest or resting comfortably without much movement. His voice and tone are quietly flat without many fluctuations in the pitch. He presents his story or complaint to the to the doctor in the clinic in a very systematic manner, often beginning with the previous follow-up and then speaking of subsequent event almost chronologically. Like, I came to you last on for this first 6 days, the pain is like this and that. I have observed that very often such a patient notes down his symptom in carefully written points and describe each symptoms completely in as if much in a detail, and he thinks it is very necessary. Before going on to the next symptom, he explains each and every symptom in a very detail. He perceive and therefore describe things in an orderly manner. For instance, once treatment starts, he describes his progress at follow-up in terms of the percentage. Like, I am 25% better, now it is a 75% no pain, like this way. His handwriting is usually well structured, straight, not rounded and not angled, and he speaks precisely and to the point. All these characteristics are due to the certain attitude of the mind and structured thought process. Consequently, the profession such as individual choose will be one for which he is best suited. He become an engineer, accountant, computer consultant, or the business manager. He can be very high performer and make a mark in his chosen field in the steady, stable and reliable manner. Whatever he or her role, be it as a mother looking after the children and at the home, and or as a manager of a large corporation, these same characteristics or characteristic of order and efficiency will be apparent. He gives prime importance to structure in all sphere of his life, like be it in the family, his relationships or his professions, his performance in all they related to this inner sense of structure or the lack of structure. He has an issue around the sense security, like structures and relationships that he has and that he can provide. The role of structure in human life is building a society, in forming a family, and in developing the organization. If this is the other song, then the human being will view all his problem through the prism of the structure. His main problem is therefore around the deficiency or in a loss of the structure. The precipitating problem could be a fragile or a broken relationship, the loss of job, other financial losses, or any failure in the performance. In short, any threat to a failure on his part to adequately defend the structure on which he relies. He talks of my family, my home, my relationships, my work efficiency, my bank balance, and my health. These are the important area in his life, and all his stresses are experienced in this sphere. His fear too are centered on this area of the sensitivity. He is anxious about being unable to perform well and therefore failing in his work. He feared that the relationships that he has built us so carefully and on which he relies may be break. So, the thought of losing the professions or the status he has gathered, uh, his constant. So he's very worry about the constant. He's very worry about this position and constant feel response is a sorry in response is inner neediness he constantly worried to him, which constantly worried to him, right? Let me see again. The thought of losing the positions of status he has gathered is a constant worry to him, right? All his efforts are channeled towards the building up and maintenance of the structure. In order to maintain structure and organization in his life, he has to be very strong, systematic, and calculating. This, in brief, describe his nature. He is not easily changed, being very consistent in his nature and reaction. His reactions are uniform, hardly varying in different situations. His dreams too reflect his fear and mainly revolves around his performance at work, threat to his health, sudden financial loss, relationship breaking and domestic losses such as fight within the family or his house burning down. As these are very definite and fixed areas, the dreams tend to be repetitive. A person a person whose other song is from the mineral kingdom talk about his symptom in term of structure at the deepest level. He will use words that apply to the mineral such as pressure, density, solid, light, heavy, cold, build, form, dissolve, empty, etc. In effect, this deep inner sense of the structure is his sensation. So, for example, Mr. A says, Mrs. A says she has a headache. The headache is very bad. It is pulling and sharp. She describes several different sensations relating to her headache but does not come to one clear underlying sensation. We therefore ask her, what effect does this headache have on you? So she says, it makes me feel very dependent on others. It is as if I am a handicapped. And we attempt to understand this further and ask, what is handicap? And how do you experience the handicap? So she replied, it is as if my legs are missing. The mental person will not able to go beyond that. Her deepest expression and experience at the level of sensation is that some part or the her structure is affected. You cannot get beyond that. Order and structures are very strong here. She says, earlier I would cross the street on my own. Now I need my sister to hold me. I am not able to do my activities, and we ask her to tell us more about the headache and how it affects her. She says that it's kept me away from her nephew wedding. We are very attached and I don't want to be away from this occasion. Once again, the deepest effect of the headache on her life is on her sense of structure, her relationship, and her ability to function within the family. All this have to do with the structure. Each time we ask for the sensation, we get something related to structure. Then, as our conversation continue, something interesting happen. She says, I have a fear now. The headache causes fear, but she is unable to go further. We ask, what dreams do you get? And she answers, I get no dream, but I have a tremendous fear of ghost. I cannot stay alone, and especially at night, so I pray. We ask her to describe ghost. She reply, for me, ghost is just the fear of being alone. I cannot describe a ghost or tell you the sensation, but I just cannot be alone. I am like a child. I have not developed the ability to be myself. I need other people around, and I need my husband, my children, and my family. So we can see her basic issue is the sensation that she lacks the structure needed for her security, and so she needs others to complete her lack. In the mineral kingdom, one of the main issue is security, and she lacks a secure structure. Her husband, children, and family are her security. In that sense, she is still childish. When I asked her about her fear, she described the need for security. So it is not the ghost that is important, but what is the threat of the ghost signify in her? What is the lacking in her is the security and structure. It is not the animal person's feeling of being victim, or rather it is feeling of lacking sufficient structure and security within the oneself. For a person whose other song is from the animal kingdom, the fear of ghost would be fear of death, a question of survival. The description of the ghost here would be that of a monster. The monster might have sharp claws, huge teeth, and blood pouring from its mouth, and it will come and get me. For an animal song, the ghost means the fear is the aggressor out there, and the person is terrifying victim of the approaching the aggressor. For the person whose other song is from the plant kingdom, the descriptions of the ghost will be different again. It might be something like, oh, it is terrible. It will catch me and hold me and crush me. His deepest expression will come down to an inner sensation such as tied and bound, with exact opposite sensation of release and the free. So, for a plant song, experience of the ghost at the deepest level is one clear inner sensations of the certain type and intensity.